Mr. Rando. Hello, how are you? I don't know if you all can read this sign or not, but we would like to congratulate you on being Oakland County's Elementary School Teacher of the Year. Congratulations.
Well, Mr. Rondo, this is certainly well-deserved, and we just thank you for everything that you've done to influence and inspire kids and other teachers. I know last night you had an interview with NPR, so you'll be on the radio later, and I just can't think of anybody that's more deserving. And what do you guys think? Way to go.
Mr. Rondo, it's great to be here again. Within about a month, we had an opportunity to have a host of district dignitaries surprise Mr. Rondo as the Elementary Teacher of the Year here in Troy. And your students were so gracious during that period in time. And we talked a little bit about how special you are as a teacher. And the most important thing that you do, that your students recognized, and I'm certain came out in your application at the county level, is that you empower your students to be creative. You empower them to provide opportunities to connect their learning to their world, because at the end of the day, we realize it's about them and it's about their learning that makes a difference in their lives. And you are a teacher that has a special talent of connecting students' learning to their world.
His positivity level, and he's just like a fun teacher, and he doesn't like make us fool around a lot.
Positive, encouraging, and I think respectful. Yeah.
I just wanted to tell Mr. Rondo that he deserves a lot, and I think he deserves all this Oakland County appreciation, and he's more than enough for me, and his kindness towards me was amazing.
So Mr. Rondo makes a huge difference at Costello Elementary School in Troy because he is always being positive. I don't think I've ever seen him have a bad day or say an unkind word about anybody. He emanates that positivity to his students, and his students know what's important to him.
One of the reasons is Mr. Rondo is really the poster teacher for growth mindset. His positivity and can-do attitude is just so influential, not only in his classroom, but also among his colleagues and peers. And he's very thoughtful in the way that he approaches teaching, and he just wants the kids to be engaged and motivated, and he pours his heart into making sure that happens in his classroom.
All right, well, good evening. It is truly an honor to be here. First, I'd like to thank the selection committee and all of the sponsors and everyone who was recognized earlier for all you do to make this event happen, and just to honor teachers. It's very special. So being surprised as Troy School District Teacher of the Year and then as Oakland County Teacher of the Year has given me a lot to reflect on. And at this point, if somebody woke me up and told me that 2019 has all been a dream, I think I would believe them. During the last 2 months of reflection, there's two questions that have kept coming up in my head over and over. And tonight I'm going to hopefully try to answer those questions and share my story with you. So the first question I keep asking myself is, how did I get here? It's common to hear teachers talk about how they always knew they wanted to be a teacher, how they played with their stuffed animals and they made their brothers and sisters and their cousins play school in their basements and take tests. Well, this was not the case for me, not at all. In fact, if you would have told fourth grade me that I would one day be a fourth grade teacher, I probably would have thought you were crazy. If you went a step further and told fourth grade me that I'd be standing up here with my fourth grade music teacher, Julie Smith, and we'd be accepting Oakland County Teacher of the Year awards together, I definitely would have thought you were insane. Back then, I was quite confident I would be playing in the NHL at this point. But I do believe that teachers are called into and drawn into this profession. And there's no question in my mind that some of the biggest influences that drew me in were my family. It may sound cliche to say that your family are your first teachers, but in my case, it's the truth. 36 years ago, my grandmother, Mary Nahat, and my mother, Carolyn Rondo, started Monami Daycare and Nursery School in Royal Oak. I have witnessed them give the gift of early education and be passionate about what they do my entire life, and it definitely has led me down this road. My grandpa was also a teacher. My grandparents actually taught down the hall from each other in Detroit Public Schools, which is how they met. My grandpa worked on the Detroit School Board, and then he eventually left teaching to become a lawyer, but he's always been a model of hard work and dedication. My other important teacher has been my dad. As my father and as my hockey coach, he always taught me the value of hard work, positivity, and having a strong, positive mindset, which is something I try to teach my students every day. So there's no question that these influences have been the biggest reason I'm standing here. Another reason I found my way into teaching is because I've always loved working with kids, which I've heard is important in this job. Through the summers in college, I was a counselor and then a director of a local day camp working with 3rd and 4th grade kids. This is for sure when I knew that teaching was my calling, and I'm so happy that I answered that call despite starting college in 2008 when it seemed that everyone was saying to run the other way from education. I can't stand up here tonight without recognizing my amazing colleagues in Troy School District and at Costello, who have done so much to impact me. I'm extremely grateful for Dr. Tammy DePonio for believing in me and hiring me fresh off my student teaching experience. She's been a constant source of support on this journey. As she mentioned in the video, in 2013 in September, I was hired on the 3rd day of the school year, which I remember being like the happiest day of my life, very quickly followed by an uh-oh, what did I just get myself into feeling as I walked into my first day of teaching on the 3rd day of the school year. That year, my colleagues at Costello did everything in their power to take me under their wing and help me get through. Besides my teaching partners who guided me through every aspect of the curriculum that year, other teachers gave up their prep time to help me plan. They stayed late after school to help me clean out cabinets, and they helped me set up bulletin boards and do everything that most teachers do in the summer in their classroom. These are things that I'll never forget. I've also had some incredible professional learning opportunities across all of Oakland County and Oakland schools. Most notably being part of the Galileo Leadership Consortium 2-year program, and we actually had our last meeting in this building today. So I've just been here all day. But it has been a huge opportunity for growth and has really helped me find my voice and have a greater impact on the teaching profession. So the second question that this award has made me reflect on is, what does it truly mean to be a teacher? And really, I've been trying to answer this question for the last 6 years. So I have a confession to make about that. When it comes to teaching, I don't really wake up in the morning fired up teaching about the causes of the American Revolution, the numerous methods of long division, or really anything to do with fractions. What drives my passion as an educator is that as teachers, we have the opportunity to make an impact on kids that will last long after the time they leave our classroom. We have the power to say something a kid will remember for the rest of their life. I view the role as a teacher as more than just someone who delivers content, but as someone who can use the content to unlock the potential within their students. So what does it mean to be a teacher? It means to be a difference maker in the lives of kids. It means going above and beyond to help all kids succeed. It means putting students first and everything else second. Being a teacher is about being a positive influence for our future. Standing here, I know I'm surrounded in this room by so many people who embody every one of those qualities I just shared. And it's truly an honor to be standing here and be Oakland County Elementary Teacher of the Year. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Stephen Sneed, Supervisor of Curriculum Assessment at Oakland Schools, and on behalf of Oakland Schools and the Oakland Schools Education Foundation, we are proud to present you with the award for Outstanding Middle School Teacher of the Year for Oakland County. Wow. Thank you very much.
I wanted to take a few minutes just to recognize the excellence that you bring to the class for your students, the passion that you have for teaching history to your kids, the connections that you make with students, the time that you put into lesson planning, reading about history, tutoring kids on the weekends, putting together, through the help of our NEF, a really cool escape room you guys are going to get to do a little bit later this spring. He's been planning out. Mr. K really cares about you guys and really cares about Novi and our school and community, and we want to recognize you for all of that excellence, and congratulations.
All right, thank you. Congratulations.
Mr. Knies, congratulations. This award is 20 years in the making. You've been a wonderful teacher here at Novi Middle School. You care deeply for the students in your class. You care deeply for U.S. history. You do a lot of things that a lot of people don't see every day, and we're just so appreciative of the work that you do here, and you should be honored that you're the Oakland County Middle School Teacher of the Year, so congratulations.
Thank you. The honor's mine and the pleasure's mine.
Mr. Kanais engages with his class often, and he's just a fun teacher to be around.
When I was doing speeches, when I was standing at the front, he was in the back encouraging me. He was smiling, he was doing hand gestures to have me keep going because there was a time limit, and he just made me feel comfortable, not nervous at all.
He's fun, he's kind, and he's just amazing in general.
Kind, energetic, and descriptive.
I nominated Dave Kanais for Outstanding Teacher of the Year Award because he is a phenomenal person and a phenomenal teacher.
Dave is one of those guys that exemplifies what good teaching is all about. I think most of us that have been in the profession for a long time know it's about relationships first, and Dave does such a great job of developing relationships not only with his peers but the class, his students in his class as well.
Dave, I'm so happy that you're being honored in this way, because if there's anybody I know as a teacher who deserves this, it's you. You've worked so hard for so long, and I'm glad you're being recognized, and I love you.
So when they came to my classroom, I was totally speechless, and now I do have a speech, so I'm going to read a little bit. And like Mr. Rondo, I have a lot of people to thank for getting me to the place where I'm right now. First of all, Oakland Schools and Vibe Credit Union, thank you for putting on this awesome celebration and this wonderful event for us. Mr. Baker, Rob Baker, thank you for the feedback to make me a better teacher. Rob didn't say, but he was at the school a month. He's a new principal in our building. When I approached him about the escape room, and he was willing to roll the dice and take a chance with what I told him, he could have just said, "No, I'm new. I got to, figure out what's going on." But he took a chance with me, and I'm very thankful for his support. And we're glad to have him at Novi Middle School. Thank you also to the Novi Educational Foundation. They're the ones who actually gave me a grant to build this escape room, and we couldn't have done it without it, so it would just be a dream of mine. I've had a wonderful collaborator with Alex Erskine. He's a art teacher at the middle school and the high school in our district, and we put the room together. He's a talented artist. We photoshopped about 12 teachers' pictures, like kind of a Harry Potter, wands and costumes. And the kids that have been going to the escape room have just loved it. They're having a great time. One of the comments on their surveys, though, is they want me to make another one. So, Rob, I might need another room pretty soon. Let's see. You saw in the video there that Andrea Coles nominated me. That is the least that I'm grateful for with her, the nomination. She is just a great asset for the English learner teachers in Novi, putting on professional development and working with us. She's been invaluable as I developed the 8th grade sheltered U.S. history program. She's just a wonderful person, too. One of the things we like to do as teachers, I believe all of us in the room, is develop lifelong learners. And my parents did that with me. Back when I was a kid, we had encyclopedias, which you can Google encyclopedias if you're too young to know what they are. It can be kind of ironic. And my first computer, my second computer, the programming classes, they've been so supportive and encouraging for me. Just want to say, love you guys. They got me through college, where I started tutoring at the Upper Bound program at Hope College. And when I found out that the parents of African American students of Novi, PASSN, had started a tutoring program on Saturday mornings about 7 years ago, I signed up for it, started volunteering there, and I've just had the pleasure to work with Paula Henry, who's taken on the program, expanded it. She's such a loving, caring person. Mary Grimm, who's a special ed teacher in a district. I don't know how she has the energy on Saturday morning, the enthusiasm, but she is an inspiration to me, waking up and working with those kids first thing Saturday morning. One of the great things about this whole program is hearing on social media, getting letters, emails from all the former students and their parents just telling me things I never would have heard had it not been for Oakland Schools here. So that is just a wonderful thing. I make sure, this is a tip for some of the teachers who don't do this, when you get those notes, you get those thank yous, just print them off, keep them in a folder, and if you have a bad week, you're having a bad day, the lesson didn't work out how you wanted, pull them out, read it, it'll cheer you up. And one of the good things is it's 0 calories too, so just don't put it in the candy drawer like I do. Let's see here. Teaching middle school, we have such great kids in Novi. They're always interesting, fun to be with, they're enjoyable, and dare I say it, they're very entertaining sometimes. So they just make it a joy to come in every day. Specifically, I want to thank Scott Alcott, who is in the video, and his mom. Scott is a very positive, conscientious student. He wrote a letter of recommendation, as did his mother. And just, I've read them and reread them. It's just so heartwarming to have that type of student in the community and in my classroom. Finally, I'd like to thank my wife, Sharon, back there, who is a fellow teacher we met at the middle school. And we're carpool buddies. We just have the one car. We're saving the environment. We just bounce ideas off each other, and maybe if one of us misses something in, our staff meetings, the other one fills the other one in. I'm so grateful to have her, such a strong supporter of me. And this is less an award, I think, for me than it is for Team Canais. So I love you, honey.
Congratulations on being the Oakland Schools Outstanding High School Teacher of the Year.
All right, so this is exciting. I think we're just confirming what we already knew, that we all love Miss Smith very dearly, and she does such great work for all of us, and she just promotes excellence in everything she does, and we could not be prouder of her. In my opinion, way, way overdue and very deserved for Miss Smith. So let's give her another round of applause.
On behalf of the district, we are so proud of you. As you know, we are very, very proud of our arts programs, our performing arts, our music programs throughout the district, and you're a big reason for that. The things you do for our students is amazing, and the work and sort of development you get out of them is fantastic. So on behalf of the whole district, congratulations, very well deserved.
I'm blessed to work in an incredibly supportive district with people I love and people who inspire me every day. And I don't consider myself special in any way except that I get to work with the most beautiful children.
What doesn't make Miss Smith an amazing teacher? Everything about her is fantastic. A lot of people have already covered that she's fantastic and caring, but she's also really funny. And she knows how to connect with her students and on like a personal level so that we're intrigued in the classes and we participate.
Well, I've known Miss Smith since I was in 3rd grade, so I have a lot of memories, but my favorite one was my sophomore year when my mom passed away, and she made sure that all of the choirs knew what I was going through, not just to expose me, but like help me in my journey through life. And also she made sure that my choir came to my mom's memorial, which really meant a lot.
Friendly, caring, and overall just fantastic.
Kind, caring, and charismatic.
I would say Miss Smith is tenacious, she's caring, and she's also inspiring.
Miss Smith, thank you for all you have done for me in the time that I've known you before high school and during high school. You've impacted me more than you'll ever know, and I'm really grateful for that. So thank you.
When Andy Malash emailed me and asked me to write one of the teacher recommendations for Julie Smith's nomination for Oakland County Teacher of the Year, I think I replied in all caps, yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. I can't think of anybody more deserving than Julie.
Julie makes a difference with every single kid, every single parent, every single staff member she interacts with. When you go to Julie's booster meetings, you think she's this local celebrity, the way people are going up and hugging her, and I'm so happy to see her, and she knows everything about everyone and is very just conscientious of others around her, and those personal relationships she builds with everyone is a part of what makes this a great school community.
I thought a lot about what I was going to say tonight. I thought about, do I talk about how I became a teacher? Do I talk about my dreams? Do I talk about what drives me? I wasn't sure. I wrote many speeches. This is the funny one. So, Mr. Malash, my principal, thank you, sir, for that wonderful introduction, is a principal I would follow in the desert with no water. He gave me some great advice about tonight. He said, just be yourself. This was the worst thing he could have ever told me. Because here she comes. And he's sitting right over there, so he's to blame. Tonight, at this auspicious event, I would like to talk about how being a great teacher is a multifaceted job requiring a vast skill set. Only the truly brave stay in teaching. Great teachers have many sides. That's what makes them so great. In fact, it's almost as though a great teacher can do the job of more than one person, especially if they have enough coffee and birthday cupcakes. Let's dissect a great teacher into parts and really dig into what makes them tick. To better explain what I mean, I will employ a simple metaphor. For this, I will use the characters from the TV sitcom Parks and Rec. When nothing goes the way you had planned, the bus is late for choral festival, the technology you just checked before class is not working, when looks like you have 20 rehearsals on the calendar before states, but when reality with PSATs, work keys, M-step, and pre-bubbling, you actually have 5 rehearsals, you are the ever optimistic, effervescent Chris Traeger. Everything is wonderful and everything is perfect. Every setback is literally just an opportunity in disguise. You hunker down and you make it all work with a smile on your face. To the students who come to you with a blown out flip-flop, invisible injury requiring a Band-Aid, the broken necklace clasp, you are the beautiful Musk, Ox, Ann Perkins, best friend, nurse, and healer to all. Your kindness, patience, and calm voice make everything better. When a parent calls you on the day of a concert, you know where this is going, to complain that you have never communicated that there was a performance tonight, even though there are literally 18 reminders, calendars, emails, sky alerts, notes home, carrier pigeons. Well, they get a taste of your irascible Ron Swanson side. It's really too bad we can't have doors on remote controls, isn't it? When all you want to do is sing about your favorite little horse and be in a rock band, but instead you're trying to teach with a broken thumb, jet lag from the spring break overseas trip, and you have so much to do on your list, you feel as though you're trying to dig yourself out of a pit. See what I did there? Then you are Andy Dwyer in spades. Hopefully with fewer concussions, but Andy Dwyer nevertheless. And more days than I would like to admit, I go home feeling as though I have nothing left to give anyone else. These days often fall in the month for which this next character is named, April. But ultimately, we all have a big piece of Leslie Knope in us. It's the part of us that keeps us coming back for more. The part of us that pushes us to do our very best. She's a fearless leader, and she has a plan. It's a good plan. It's color-coded. It's in beautiful binders. It's well thought out. And just the mention of office supplies makes me a little feverish. I'm sure some of you are too. In the show, Leslie Knope is going to save her department by bringing back the citywide Harvest Festival. This is just a thinly veiled metaphor for all of the community outreach, advocacy, fundraising, and rallying we do as educators. We make things happen. We don't have time to wait around for someone to do it for us. There's no choir room? Okay, let's get 120 parents and students to clean out the basement of the school. Poof, choir room. So I feel like Leslie Knope most days. Even though I don't run a parks department and she isn't a high school choir director, the two of us spend the vast majority of our time trying to get people excited about stuff they don't want to do. Guys, you know what'd be super fun? We should do a major choral work with the orchestra. It'll be in Latin. We'll have lots of extra rehearsals. And you know what? You get to stand on the stage under the hot lights for like maybe an hour, maybe more than an hour. And there'll be a really heavy binder for you to hold. Won't that be awesome? So when your students already refer to the orchestra as the library department, it's kind of an uphill battle. But here's the thing. Here's why we're all here. That fictional character, Leslie Knope, as wonderful as she is on the screen, she isn't real. We get to watch her on Netflix, but in the end, she's just clever writing and acting. What does exist is this room full of educators who, in addition to the roles I've listed, nurse, curmudgeon, fun-loving goof, and strong leader, we are all those roles and so much more. We are all those roles and as much as we can be every day to every student. We are whatever our students need us to be. We can change the way a student interacts with information with just a simple, kind word or a high five. We have the ability to change the way a student sees the world, hears music, or feels about themselves, sometimes without us even knowing. As you know, that power comes with great responsibility. It is an incredible honor to be in this room with some of the finest educators in Michigan. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for this award, and I promise to spend every day living up to the standard of excellence this award represents. I will wear my many hats, knowing that all of you will be doing the same in your own classrooms and workspaces. Together, we will create a place for our students as idyllic and special as Pawnee. Well, no, not Pawnee. Something real, something we can see, something we can touch. And together, we'll continue to make every day the best it can be for every child. Thank you.